West Brom, Bristol City, Blackburn, all on 52 points, and it's West Brom who currently occupy the 6th position in the table. So the experienced Moussa Sissoko comes into the side, replacing Tom Ince. He'll provide power, pace and poise. It's a settled back five with goalkeeper Egil Selvik continuing for a 6th consecutive start in between the sticks. And on the bench is the leading goal scorer this season for Watford, Vakun Bayo. Alex Neil, he shuffles his pack after the Bristol City defeat. George Honeyman, Adamu Emaku and Josh Coburn all start. Coburn came off the bench in the week and keeps the shirt ahead of Ivanovic, and George Evans is the replacement goalkeeper. Referee this afternoon is Gavin Ward, very experienced in the EFL. Shown 6 red cards this campaign. And here is Georgi Shakvedadze.
And I think he's a fantastic player. When everything's going well for Watford, it normally goes through him. So very impressed for him through the season, and I'm sure he'll have a big part to play today.
Making his 34th start of the season, Shakvedadze. And Josh Coburn, he's leading the line this afternoon, Courtney.
Yeah, and I've picked him because I was impressed with him against Derby. That mentality of missing the penalty, but still getting that winning goal late on.
So we will have a minute's applause ahead of kick-off to remember the 2 former Watford players who've passed away this week, Barry Hartle and Dennis Bond. Hartle started his football career here at Watford, and Dennis Bond also began his journey at Vicarage Road and ended his professional career here too. So Vicarage Road remembers Barry Hartle and Dennis Bond. So it's the playoffs before the playoffs for the sides who want to play post-season football in May. And which one of these two, if either of them, will be in the top 6 come the 3rd of May. Watford come into today's fixture 3 unbeaten, 3 clean sheets on the bounce. Millwall suffered a defeat at home on Tuesday night against Bristol City, their 2nd defeat in the last 8 championship games. It's been a bit stop-start over the last month for Millwall. In their last 5, they've won 1, drawn 2 and lost 2. So we're about to get underway, and it's Watford who are attacking from left to right as we watch in the first 45 minutes. Early header won by Cooper, breaks off, and this is Sissoko. Tries to get his cross in at the 2nd attempt, comes back to Deli Bashiru. Intent from Watford straight from the kickoff. Shakvadadza switches the play. Ngakia, and still.
It's a shame there, isn't it, for Ngakia? Twice of asking, his touch just lets him down. A couple of times there, you expect him to step inside, unleash a shot, but the ball gets away from him. But a brilliant crossfield ball from Shakvadadza into him, and it's a good position that Ngakia picks up high on that right-hand side, detaching himself from that full-back position.
Positive first 60 seconds or so from Watford. Millwall searching for back-to-back away wins. They've done that once already this season, beating Luton and then Portsmouth in late January.
Just see there, a little bit of a coming together. Referee's just checking, as rightly so with head injuries, that Roos is okay.
Seemed to have received a blow to the back of his neck. He continues. He's got to do some defending now. Honeyman's all over him. They're wrestling each other. Honeyman thought he won that fairly. It's a free kick, though, to Watford.
Well, he's incensed, isn't he, Honeyman? He's not happy at all. He's thinking this is 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. And until that point, I tended to agree, but it's when then Honeyman gets his arms around Larousse. Always will go in the defender's way, that one.
Abankwah, it's been a revelation since he's joined from Udinese on loan. Excellent with the ball at his feet. Added a new dimension for Watford. Sissoko, their captain, with the clearance, only as far as Cooper. Donore and Cooper again. All 6 inches of him. Real character at Millwall.
Say that stature, fantastic defender. Obviously has his attacking prowess as well, especially from set pieces.
First touch for Kayambe. This is Loser. Watford trying to move the ball quickly. One back by Kundal, helped out by Mitchell. And Brian plays it short.
It's just a heart-in-mouth moment there, wasn't it, for Millwall? It's a poor pass back. Strange one as well, because Cooper almost steps out the way. He could have got in the line of it. But all's well in the end.
Watford beat Luton the last time here at Vicarage Road. Previous to that, they'd lost their last 5 of their 6 home league games.
Both teams have been in a little bit of a peculiar run of form, really. Can't get things together. Obviously, of late, it's been a lot better for Watford in terms of those 3 unbeaten. But before that, I'd only won 1 in 10. So that form turnaround was certainly much needed.
Strange old division, isn't it, Courtney? And they find themselves still only 3 points away from the top 6.
Well, that's the beauty of it, and I think why it keeps us all engaged. And you know, if you're a fan of the team, it's probably not good for your heart rate, but for the neutral, it's brilliant.
Cooper tidies up. Jensen, the firm #1 at Millwall. It's his 35th start of the season, signed from Lincoln of League One in the summer. Game just losing its shape from that early positive start for Watford. Coburn wrestling with a Bankwa. Pollock comes across and clears. He'll be really physical at times this afternoon, won't it?
Yeah, of course it will. I think both teams have got that physical prowess, so it's about who's winning the battle there. But it was always explained to me by managers as fire and ice, that fire to be combative, to get the ball back, use your physical prowess, but then the ice, when you've got the ball back, you've got to be calm and composed, especially in that final third.
The Millwall supporters you can hear in the background. The away end is sold out. Positive from Watford. Kayambe, Deli Bashiru, and now Loser. Shakfadetsa. Larouci trying to create some space for the cross.
It's two bunched up on that side of the pitch now. Right idea here to try and move it out and switch the play, and I know that Millwall will get back into a really compact shape, and that's where Watford have got to move it more quickly, but been impressed early on with Kembe. The pockets that he keeps picking up, always seems to find a yard of space.
Nice combination. Loser, Sissoko. I think the whistle might have just blown.
I think it was an offside in the build-up. We know normally that the assistants have to wait to double-check, but I tell you what, I don't think that is. Certainly Cooper looks to be keeping Watford onside. That's a poor decision by the assistant.
Yeah, you could clearly see there Cooper's right shoulder, and there was the space for Loser to put that cross in. Picked up by Doumbia. The 19-year-old from Mali. Now to Deli Bashiru. Watford using the full width of the pitch. Larouci. That's an avenue for Watford that they're trying to create in these opening 9 minutes.
Yeah, it is. Larouci, as we've seen Ngakia do on the opposite side as well, they love to get high, add to the attack. It's been a couple of good passages of play down that left-hand side for Watford.
Shakfadetsa swings it in. Jensen had to get a hand to it. Punched it away. Falls back to the Georgian. Socks are rolled down as they always are. Larouci. Kayambe. Watford being patient. Sissoko's free. Pollock's high up the pitch.
I do wonder there, Shakfadetsa was coming in the edge of the box. Obviously, whether Pollock didn't hear the shout, whether Shakfadetsa didn't get it, but he was better served to step onto that one.
And come back Watford. Watford come back with Kayambe. He's dragged his effort wide, and it's a goal kick for Millwall.
I like this again. Kembe on the half turn, always looking to go forward. Obviously, the shot is certainly not what he envisioned. Doesn't catch it right at all, drags it wide, but I like the position that he keeps picking up in that number 10 role.
It's nearly coming up to a year since Tom Cleverley's been in charge. Took over from Valérien Ismaël. He's got a good record at Vicarage Road, but managers at Watford are always under pressure.
Well, that's the thing, and there's been a couple of times, hasn't there, throughout the season where there's been murmurings about whether he might lose his job, but I think he's done fantastically well. I personally think he's overachieved with the squad that he inherited. And he's so close to the playoffs now. If he was to get him into the playoffs, then I really do think that it would be such a fantastic achievement for him.
Loser, the Moroccan, would try to dictate play from midfield. Spilt out to Honeyman. And now Imaku. One of the 3 changes made by Alex Neil.
Showed Ngakia there too much of the ball, Imaku.
Denore. Now Kramer pulls it behind everyone. Comes back out to Mitchell. Wasn't far away.
Wasn't. Had Selvik scrambling just for a moment. Poor defending here as well, I think. That Loser's coming back and trying to hook this. I think that's more on the defenders to step out and clear that ball. Means when it drops to Mitchell, there's a little bit of space to hit it. Does well initially with the touch, but see there, drags it wide, very much like Kiembe actually a moment or so earlier.
Both sides trying to get their shots off when they're around the penalty areas. Denore wins it back. Khan from Tanganga. And Kramer gallops over the halfway line. Denore switching play.
It's a shame. It's a brilliant ball. Maku was placed to be able to bring that down on his chest. I don't know. It's not the sun because he's in the shade there. I just think he gets the timing of his jump wrong to bring it down. It goes over the top of him.
Watford on top with the possession numbers. Always expect that facing Millwall. They like to play their football on the counter-attack. They'll give the ball away. They're having to defend again. Shakfadadza. And still stings the palms of Jensen. The first time either goalkeeper has been seriously called into action.
I think Sissoko is there on the right-hand side. Gets caught on his heels as well. Jensen spills it, stings his palms, and I'm just thinking there, if Sissoko is on his front foot, it's a tap in from probably 3 or 4 yards out.
And Ngakia.
Now, this is why I picked him out before the game, because he's that player on the pitch with a little bit of magic, does well, and that's what I'm talking about there. Just see on the right-hand side, Sissoko on his heels. He doesn't move quick enough for my liking.
His manager, Tom Cleverley, will want him to add a few more goals to his wonderful play.
Yeah, exactly. And no easier option there, really, in terms of as soon as that shot comes in, you know, as soon as he starts to cut in on the right-hand side, Shakfadadza, what he's always going to be thinking. So just gamble. I'm not saying he might have might not have got there because Brian was there, obviously, but just to put Brian under a little bit of pressure on the blind side of the defender as well, it was always going to be difficult. So, yeah, it's just a shame that he wasn't more aware to the situation, I would say, Sissoko.
Yeah, the last time the Georgian was on the score sheet was at the end of last year, 29th of December, against Cardiff. They lost on that afternoon, Watford, by 2-1. Pollock under pressure. Good pressing from Coburn.
I like this from Coburn, pressing from the front. It's not just defenders that have to defend, it's the whole team.
Alex Neil just pointing to where he thinks the throw-in should have been taken. He settled in nicely at Millwall, Alex Neil, replacing Neil Harris at the end of December, talking to his assistant there, Martin Canning, very experienced in this division, in charge of Norwich, Preston and Sunderland and Stoke previously, so knows the second tier really well. Loser, Ngake might have used his hand to control it. Play continues, gets away from 2 Millwall players. Loser again at the heartbeat for Watford. Shakpadadze trying to take on Kramer. Digs out a cross.
You're exactly right, and I love that terminology because that's what he do. He digs out that cross. Such a short backlift. He's not got a lot of space or time to be able to find this cross. I think Deli Bashiru is the one that's got to be coming from that right-hand side on the back of that.
So Jensen with the first real save of the game. Both sides have had shots, but that was the first one on target that he had to make a save from.
I think you'd say undoubtedly Watford are getting in the better positions, but prime example there, that ball in. Someone's got to be at that back post area. Fantastic ball, but everyone's too busy coming closer to that near post area, but you have to hit all the areas in the box when you're attacking.
Donore in front of the travelling support, wins a corner. Millwall's first in the 20th minute, and that man will be the target, Jake Cooper. He is most certainly the threat for Millwall from the set pieces. They've got Kramer, who's got some height, as well as Coburn. Tanganga's got a leap on him as well. Cooper was the target, foul to Coburn. Cooper goes down, Kundal, Donore. Body sprawled inside the penalty area. Honeyman picks it up. Donore does well.
Very positive from Millwall. I almost think though Cooper and Coburn initially on the first phase getting each other's way a little bit, but I love Honeyman there on the second phase, keeps it alive. Combative nature is always buzzing about, isn't he? Never gives anyone a moment of peace, and Does really well to win that ball back from Shakvatadze.
Just a delay in the taking of the corner. Individual battles going on everywhere. Honeyman. Cooper.
It's always going to be difficult there for Cooper. It's a loop delivery. There's not a lot of pace on it, and then especially because he's having to move back. See, as he heads it to generate the power is difficult. But him and Tanganga get free a little bit too easily, I think. For Watford's liking, I would say.
That's short. This is Honeyman. A real chance for Millwall. Can they capitalise? Coburn's effort blocked. Scrambling defence from Watford.
Brilliant. It's Pollock, isn't it, that just throws himself in the way to deny a certain goal. The only thing I will say is initially they do so well, Millwall, to win it back. They pounce on the short ball, but I think Honeyman just hesitates a little bit too long, and the moment then disappears.
I was about to say that, Courtney. He was just slightly tentative, wasn't he? Unsure of what he really wanted to do.
Yeah, I think that was that moment. Do I pass it? Do I shoot? There was an option to square the ball. He then plays it backwards, and by that point it just lets Watford recover themselves.
Watford fortunate. Larouci darts forward. Now it's Deli Bashiru. Space for Shakvatadze. Kayembe. Two Watford players inside the penalty area. Coburn needs to keep possession of the ball. Feels like he was bundled over. Salvik comes out of his penalty area. Nice feet.
I mean, he did really well, the goalkeeper. I was wincing myself. Watford a couple of times there, just living dangerously. And
Shakvatadze once again. Can he produce a spark for Watford? Larouci. We've got more bodies inside the penalty area. Oh, it wasn't far away. That was Louza. Inches off the target. They had plenty of bodies inside the penalty area, and it bounced out to Louza.
Shakvatadze again. Loves to manipulate the ball, try and draw the challenge. Sissoko, by the way, did excellently well there to come off the Nore and lay that ball off. Louza hits it. He doesn't have a lot of time trying to find a passageway through the bodies, but it's just a little bit wide, but does really well.
It's actually really good centre forward playing away from Sissoko. Got to the near post, flicked it back. The goalkeeper was beaten. He couldn't get his shot on target.
And sometimes as well, it's the right idea just to get the shot off because it comes through so many bodies. It's the little foul, isn't it, on Honeyman? It's a knock to the knee.
So it's Bryant over this free kick. Once again, at the top of your picture, you can see Cooper, Karama and Tanganga. Cooper's wrestling with three Watford players. Whistle's blown, it offside. Millwall have come back into this game in the last few minutes.
Yeah, it's been quite open, actually. A couple of times for Watford, it's of their own doing, playing out from the back, getting caught out, but certainly starting to open up as this game ticks on.
Watford getting bodies behind the ball, making it difficult for Millwall. Good battle this between Amaku and Ngaki, and the Watford right fullback wins out. This was the chance for Millwall.
It's just here, Honeyman does ever so well. Takes 2, 3, 4 touches, has to go sooner. Denore that was there for a little cross across the box, doesn't play that ball, plays it to Coburn, and it just gives the time for Pollock to make an excellent sliding block.
Abankwah. Ngaki. Millwall's turn to get bodies behind the ball. Larouci. Watford have enjoyed attacking down Millwall's right, their left in these first 28 minutes. This is Kundal breaking away. Options right to left. It's Amaku he picks out. Brian's in support. Amaku has an effort, takes a deflection, loops up kindly for Selvik.
You just see, though, as that goes up in the air, the shadow of the ball, and how much for Selvik that sun is going to be a little bit of an issue. Luckily, it was an easy take for the goalkeeper.
Shakvaradze, Dumbe makes a run. Is this the moment for the young Malian? Oh, heavy first touch, still there. Goalkeeper scrambling, makes himself big, denies Dumbe, but the chance has gone.
Brilliant, wasn't it, from Shakvaradze on the left-hand side. It's the right thing to put that early ball in. It's slightly overhit, which doesn't help Dumbe, but I think he takes his touch the wrong way. He needs to come back inside. He beat the goalkeeper, sat him down, but couldn't get the shot off.
Larouci, penetrating cross, Sissoko, and again.
Wow. But this is what I wanted earlier from Sissoko. I was saying you need to lock off that back post area, which he does brilliantly well here. He's just almost beaten a little bit by the ball. See, he's acrobatic. He's doing his best to try to get the ball on target. And the follow-up can't find the back of the net, but the acrobatics the first time of Askin were impressive.
Second corner of the afternoon for Watford. Comes in from Louza, takes a deflection but goes in. It's Pollock, lurking and scoring.
Well, you couldn't help think that it was coming. Watford putting on the pressure, going close a couple of times. The effort from Dumbia, Sissoko, but the third time of asking Pollock there, puts the ball in the back of the net. It's a decent in-swinging ball from the right-hand side, left-footed, bags of pace on it. Looks to maybe take a little bit of a deflection from Coburn on the way through. But what Pollock does ever so well is just keeps his eye on the ball. Good header. It's in the back of the net, and I must say, I don't think it's more than Watford deserve. I would say on the balance of play that they deserve to be the team out in front so far. They've created more dangerous opportunities.
And on his 34th start of the campaign, Pollock registers his first championship goal of the season. What a crucial goal that could be.
Good timing in the game as well. They've ridden their luck a little bit, Watford, when they were causing their own problems, playing out from the back. But as I say, the last 5 minutes or so especially, two very good chances, went close, and third time of asking, it was third time lucky.
Loser out to Ngakia. Sissoko's breaking down the right-hand side, but Ngakia wanted to go alone. He totally ignored Sissoko. I thought he was about to clip it to him.
Yeah, I like this from Sissoko though, because he's clearing the space. And you're right, I thought he might play that little reverse back into Sissoko, but as it opens up, Ngakia takes a shot on, but he doesn't catch it well at all.
Coburn eventually wins something from a Bankwa. Loser scampers back and concedes a throw-in. Millwall find it tough, coming style to chase the game. They have to come out now to force and change the pattern of play. And they're scrambling at the moment. This is Kayambe. Onto Sissoko, just behind him. Loser. Kayambe. Watford really threatening now for a second. Ngakia teases Imaku.
Millwall managed to get back into shape. It's that ball back to Jensen, isn't it? It's not the best at all. It's not what he wants. Then he fluffs his lines and passes it straight to a Watford player, but seemingly they've got away with it, Millwall.
Shakvaradze. Deli Bashiru sets himself up. Just slices it wide. It looked threatening, but at the end, comfortably wide.
It looked like all set up for him. Opens up half a yard and you're thinking, just hit the target. Look at all the space he's got to aim at, but completely slices it, gets it wrong. It's just interesting as well after that. Jensen and Tanganga, I think, going back to that chance where Jensen was scrambling to clear the ball, gets it wrong. I think it's a little bit of an inquest about that little passage of play between the two.
I was being rather kind to Deli Bashiru.
Yeah, the angle deceived us initially, didn't it?
I'll always be kind to footballers. I try to become one, was nowhere near good enough. And I know how hard it is to play the professional game. Sissoko, now to Deli Bashiru. Watford with their tails up, definitely on top. Imaku slices his clearance. They're getting each other's way. Doumbia still comes out with the ball. Ngakia will have a second go at this. That's nice from Imaku. Needs to get his head up now.
Brilliant feat though, wasn't it, initially from Imaku, and the ball could have gone inside, but actually does well to make sure he doesn't just keep driving forward and lose the ball. Comes back, recycles it. Brilliant passage of play from him. This is the one I'm talking about, that quick feet when you shift it between right and left, and off he goes, but then he looks up, can't see too much, so plays it backwards and recycles the ball.
Mitchell wins it back.
Got to be better on the ball, haven't they, Millwall? And I mentioned it earlier, they're not great from coming from behind. The other side of it is Watford are a much better side at home than they are away. 32 points at home this season compared to 17 away, so somewhere they certainly enjoy being, Watford.
They just had that hiccup. It was more than a hiccup, losing 5 games on the bounce at home for Watford against Cardiff, Sheffield United, Preston, Norwich and Leeds. And they won the derby game against Luton, got back on track, and they're leading this afternoon.
I mean, when you're thinking that, though, Sheffield United and Leeds, the top 2 at the moment, you'll forgive them those 2.
Sissoko, too much nous for Imaku. Kayembe. Tom Cleverley, their manager, will want them to make this period of play count.
I think you always want that 2-goal cushion, don't you? And although I think they've been much more the dominant side, Watford, when it's 1-0, Millwall always have a chance still.
Here's the goal scorer, Pollock. Larouci. Tidied up by Denore.
It's a shame because he does well, Larouci, and he breaks into the box, and that's what you want. Normally you're told, go on, when you're in them forward areas, drive into the box, because then the defenders have got a decision to make. But Denore there does well to pounce on. A bit of a loose touch from Larouci.
Nkake gets there back, wins the second ball.
He does well there, doesn't he, Ngakia? It's a poor first ball down the line, don't get me wrong. But what he does is he follows it up with the right attitude and catches Imaku on his heels.
Kayembe. He sat up nicely for him, to be fair. He just sliced across the ball. He's got 8 goals this season.
Yeah, as you say, because it sits up nice, it lulls you into a false sense of security, but we've had to have been spectacular to beat the goalkeeper from there.
So far, so good for Tom Cleverley's first job as a senior manager in the English game. And he knows if they do collect the 3 points, they'll go level with a host of clubs above them in the race for the playoffs. It's hottening up now. We've got 11 games to play. May's coming close. And a few observers have started to call this period of the season, Courtney, the playoffs before the actual real playoffs.
Yeah, and you're right of how bunched up it is in there, and it's the exciting part of the season, isn't it? And as you say, before the season starts, before a ball's kicked, at this sort of time, late February, early March, these are the moments where you see unbelievable charges from teams that sometimes seem completely out of it, but next thing you know, they put a run together of 3 or 4 games and right back in there. So this is the part of the season I think we all love to watch.
Watford, with their additions in January, they look really built for this stage of the campaign.
Yeah, they've been diligent in that sense, and January window I think can always be difficult. You don't want to panic. You also want to try and bring players in to bolster what you've got, as you say, to try and add a little bit for that last push towards the playoffs, and Watford have done well in that sense. Good work from Coburn, isn't it? Chasing down, he doesn't get anything on the ball, but it's about that defending from the front again.
Denore comes forward with the ball, and Larouci gets there. Denore again. Coburn's got something to chase. Banquat very calm and measured, but Coburn keeps it from running out of play. I thought he did keep it from running out of play, but the referee points for a goal kick.
Wow, this is really interesting. I think this is really close. Coburn as well doesn't give it up. That moment there is so close. I think he keeps the ball in, personally, I really do, but yeah, it's a tough one for the assistant and the referee to call.
I agree. I think his foot was out of the line, but the whole of the ball was not over the whole of the line.
I think there you see, as it's going back a Bankwa, I think he's expecting Selvik to come and help him out there. He doesn't, and then he's trying to shepherd the ball out. Maybe this angle will give us a bit more clarity. Yep, I don't think that's the whole of the ball. I think the officials have got that one wrong. And then the question is it a penalty?
Yeah, Bankwa very calm and composed, but not caught out there. A let off for Watford. So we approach the final few minutes of the first half. Sissoko's onside. Sissoko. Now the flag goes up. The legs of Jensen were to deny Sissoko. But you have probably a feeling as a player, Courtney, that he knew.
Yeah, it's close, and sort of when the ball drops to him as well, when he's that far ahead of all the defenders, you automatically think offside, but Jensen wasn't to know at the time. It's a really good save, but actually it was closer than I thought from Sissoko. Just needs to hold his run for another half a second.
He's had a very bright 43 minutes, the captain of Watford. Credit to their manager again, Tom Cleverley, for bringing in players with the stature. I think for a young manager, Tom is 35, same age as Sissoko. Sometimes managers will shy away from characters, strong characters like that in their squad.
Yeah, they can do, and might at times feel threatened, but I think because of the playing career, especially that Tom Cleverley's had, I think he's got that attitude. He's been at one of the biggest clubs in the world in Manchester United, so he knows with teamwork how important it can be to have those big characters in the dressing room.
Flag goes up. Honeyman was the player to be caught offside. Ngakia did stop momentarily and put on the afterburners and tidy it up, but the free kick has been awarded for an offside, and Watford will take their time over this restart with their Norwegian international goalkeeper. Sissoko gets there first. Tanganga responds.
Really interesting there as Selvik kicked that ball. He just felt his hamstring, which looks to be taped up. I don't know whether it was just the tape maybe giving him a bit of issue, which it can do, or whether he's feeling a twinge in it.
One for us to keep our eyes on. This is Larousse. Strong from Tanganga. Loser gets there first. Denore picks up the second ball. Watford player goes down off the ball. Honeyman was around. It's set Loser who's down.
The ball had gone, hadn't it? So something that's happened off the ball. Loser there is clutching around his shin, but Honeyman's not happy, shaking his head.
We're into
let's have a look there. It's just that kicks out. Lucky at VAR, free zone. Honeyman. The referee had his back to it. I think it's whether the assistant was looking in that direction.
Certainly a card It's a coin toss for what colour the card should be. We're into the minute of stoppage time, and that minute has been gobbled up due to that injury to Imran Louza.
I think Millwall and Watford were expecting a free kick. See the way they were set up there, and it was actually a drop ball, so quite obvious that none of the officials spotted it.
There goes the half-time whistle, and it's Watford who have the advantage with Matty Pollock, his first championship goal of this campaign. A stooping header, putting his Watford team into the lead at the half-hour mark. Millwall, they've got plenty to do in this second 45 minutes if they're to gain anything from this game. Half-time then at Vicarage Road. Watford 1, Millwall 0. Doesn't look there like there's any changes made from either manager at half-time. Tom Cleverley, you can understand why he hasn't. I was thinking maybe Alex Neil might add in another attacker like Mihailo Ivanovic. He sometimes does like to play 4-4-2.
I think sometimes the thought process of managers and what they say in the change rooms is they probably know the change they want to make, but they'll say, look, you lot on the pitch, you've got 10 minutes to show me what I want. If not, there'll be changes being made. So watch this space for the early stages of the second half.
And he has options on a strong-looking bench, does Alex Neil. He's just emerged from the tunnel himself to take up his position in the dugout. And it's Millwall who will be attacking from left to right as you watch on in this second 45 minutes. And they've got it all to do if they're to gain anything positive from this afternoon and to avoid going back-to-back defeats. And this is Shakvaradze roaring forward. Sissoko, his captain. Doumbia.
It's always going to be difficult. High tariff for what he's trying to do. As initially it's back to goal, he's trying to swivel and hit it all at the same time in one motion, but Shakvaradze does well. It's a great little pick up from Sissoko. That was always going to be difficult to hit the target.
His manager talked about him during the week, and he was posed the question why Doumbia over Vacuum Bio, who's a leading goal scorer at the club, and he answered just pure work rate, as he doesn't stop, he offers a lot up front, links up the play really well, and that's the reason at the moment he's keeping out Vacuum Bio from the 11.
Well, that mixed with, you mentioned the recent form, beaten in 3, so it makes sense. You don't like to change teams when they're winning and doing well.
3 clean sheets to add to those 3 games unbeaten. Millwall need to make a good start to this second half. Very experienced. He won't panic, Alex Neil. Might just be that the playoffs are disappearing over the horizon for Millwall if they're not to get anything from this game. It'll be difficult to bounce back from back-to-back defeats. And with Coventry currently leading as well. This is Kramer. Bit heavy, ran out of play.
Looking at the other games, and you're right, you mentioned Coventry. What a fantastic job Frank Lampard's done since he's come in, by the way. And I said before the game, you may be looking at 13th and 14th as an outside shout for playoffs, but you're right. I think if Millwall don't come out with anything today, it's going to be a long way back. You're going to have to really go unbeaten for a long period of time and accrue quite a lot of points to make the playoffs. I think in hope as well that others around you drop points.
Watford with 16 touches in the opposition's box compared to Millwall's 8. Will need to catch that stat up in this remainder of the second half. Denore now to Cooper. He has to go safety first. Coburn goes down. Play continues. Loser, Larousse, swap passes. Rather nonchalant from Loser, gives possession away. Can Millwall make him pay? Emaku gets the better of Ngakia for the first time.
He does well, doesn't he, initially, Emaku, but then quality of the ball in the box leaves a lot to be desired. Did you see Coburn there? He doesn't look overly convincing, does he? He went down under that challenge and he's still trying to run it off.
Yeah, seems to be in some pain. He's hobbling around. Poor touch from Kundal. And you can see his frustration, and he is shown the first yellow card of the game. It was initiated from a poor first touch from the young man.
Yeah, and he's trying to say he gets the ball, which he just does get a little bit of the ball, but in the modern day, that's not enough. When you go through the player with his studs up like that, the way that he does, it's always going to catch the attention of the referee.
He's made Millwall his home now, signed from Wolves. 3 loan spells in the Championship with Swansea, Plymouth and Stoke. Watford allowing Millwall to have the ball. Everyone's behind at the moment for Watford defending. And Ngakir, Deli Bashir just checks his shoulders, gives it away. This is Emaku. Deli Bashir wins it back, but unfairly so. Free kick. And Watford have given that to Millwall.
Well, it's been a couple of times now, and even in the early parts of this second half. Just a bit lapsadaisical on the ball, and they're having to fight back to win it back and give away a free kick in a very dangerous area.
You see Coburn still walking around rather gingerly.
Here's what we think might have happened. It's the slip there. Thought it was a challenge, but just see he slips, loses his footing. He's probably twisted something. He's just trying to run it off, hoping the adrenaline kicks in sooner rather than later.
So Honeyman and Bryan. It'll be Bryan who takes it, beats the wall. Oh, he hits the side netting as well. Decent try from Joe Bryan. It's always a favourite with that left foot of his.
Trying to whip it round the wall, and it was half a second where Millwall fans in the stadium thought that was a goal. The side netting rippled, but wrong side of the post.
Watford haven't conceded since they lost at home to Leeds by 4-0, going away to Middlesbrough, winning that game by 1-0, then at home to Luton 2-0, and then last time out against Stoke, it was goalless as well, and at the moment that's still intact. Real slow start to the second half.
From both teams as well, I was expecting more of a reaction from Millwall. Player down.
Yeah, it's Doumbia who's gone down. Seems to have felt the effect of an incident. I think he chased onto that long ball.
He just completely pulls up, which is never a good sign. It was nothing to do with the challenge. Looks in considerable pain, which, it's an off-the-ball incident, never bodes well.
Making his 14th appearance in all competitions for Watford this afternoon. I think his afternoon might be up for Doumbia, and it looks like Vacu Bio is getting stripped and ready, the leading goal scorer at Watford this season.
Yeah, normally straight away when a player in your position goes down, you're up, you're ready to go, warming up, but certainly looks like it's going to be the case that we're going to see the Watford top goal scorer.
Yeah, he's had to be helped up. He's got some strapping as well, just behind his, around his left hamstring. And the change has been made into 10 minutes of the second half, and it's Bio who's on for Doumbia. He seems really distraught, because it might be a longer-term issue when you see a player like that leaving the pitch, Courtney.
Yeah, he's very upset, and hopefully it's not as bad as it looks and he thinks, but I do think 90% of the time you do know as a player. You feel that twinge or that snap that it's going to be a longer-term injury.
So a stop-start, second half. Just needs to settle down. Tanganga searches out Coburn. Well read by Salvik. Sissoko didn't manage to keep the ball from running out of play, so it's a throw into Millwall.
Wasteful again, isn't it, from Millwall, not really taking advantage of the slow start that I think Watford have had to this second half, and the game has lost all its tempo.
His first touch does well, and again breaks for him, chased by Mitchell and Bryant. Good centre forward play by Vacu Bio.
Geeing up the crowd as well, and it's a big opportunity for him, isn't it? So he's been out the side now for a while. Doumbia's taken that big number 9 role, but this is what you have to do as a footballer. You have to suck it up sometimes, and when you get your opportunity, make sure you take it.
strange 13 minutes of this second half. Thought Watford would have carried on where they left off in the first half, but they're inviting Millwall to have possession. It's turned rather scrappy, which Millwall won't mind. Tanganga on to Kundal. He's got some space and options, and he picks out Imaku. Fortunate picks out now Denore, and that's the chance that they needed. And only Watford have themselves to blame.
Well, Imaku, who for me has been the bright spark for Millwall, so there's no shock to me. He's played a big part in this. But this finish, by the way, is absolutely superb. First of all, I love this from Imaku. Touch past. Now he puts the burners on. It's a good ball in, low, drives it. It's difficult, this one, for Denore, because he's got to open up his hips, direct it. He's across the front post area, so to get that back across to the back post is so difficult, but he is helped by the pace on the ball from his teammate. It's precise, it's composed, and everything really that Millwall haven't been so far in the final third, they've found in that passage of play.
Can Watford respond? It's Bayo. It's a goal kick.
Well, Watford will be kicking themselves now, but they've only got themselves to blame. Such a slow start to the second half. They didn't push on, they didn't show the urgency that they needed. And actually, that wasn't necessarily because Millwall came out all guns blazing either. It was just a really scrappy start to the second half. But what Millwall have done is they've sensed it, they've taken advantage. They did start to bring a little bit of urgency to their game in the last 3 or 4 minutes, and it's paid off for Millwall, and they deserve that goal.
And I don't think it's me talking down Millwall, but they don't mind playing that kind of game, being it scrappy, winning the second balls, pouncing on second chances, and it's Watford who have to really look at themselves.
Yeah, it is, and look, there's more than one way to win a football game, so you're right, it's not talking down to Millwall, it's them playing to their strengths and making it difficult. They're hard to beat, they're combative, and as you say, it being a little bit scrappy actually suited Millwall, and you're exactly right, Watford have only got themselves to blame for letting the game turn the way it has.
Fascinating 29 minutes and stoppage time to come. Once again, Kundal trying to carve out some space. Stopped by Abankwah. Got a game all of a sudden at Vicarage Road. As it stands, it won't really suit either side a point. One of them need to take maximum points to take effect for that chase for a top 6 position. As Courtney mentioned pre-match, you can say the top 4 have moved away. Coventry are slowly edging away as well. Still 2 places. That's poor from Deli Bashiru. And now it's Coburn. And he wins a corner.
So poor. So many times now, Watford, not just in the second half, they did it a couple of times in the first half as well. Got away with it. But it's complacent. Deli Bashiru has to do better with that, and they're causing their own problems yet again, Watford.
Millwall from corners are a genuine threat. The delivery has to be precise. It's Honeyman who takes it, and it's Cooper on the end of it.
Cooper will be disappointed with that, you know. He should do a lot better. I think it's Tanganga flying in front of him that doesn't get close to it, but gets free a little bit too easily. And then Cooper, he gets a good run. You can argue that, yes, Kernbay is there, putting a little bit of pressure on, but for me, he has to at least hit the target.
Life back into this game after the Millwall equaliser. Manager having a word with his captain. Tanganga, that's a missed kick. Bayou's all over him. And Bayou a little bit too eager.
Heart in mouth moment, wasn't it? For Tanganga, doesn't get the connection on the ball. Luckily for him, manages to recover the situation, and as you say, Bayou is in the right place. He's just that little bit too eager. Doesn't need to take Tanganga down.
Both sides making mistakes. It's edgy now at Vicarage Road. Both inviting chances for each other.
You can't help but think it's a mistake at the moment that's going to be the defining moment of this game rather than a moment of brilliance.
Watford now trying to find their momentum again, seeing more of the ball. They most certainly gave the possession to Millwall in that first 15 minutes of this second half.
Yeah, and credit to Millwall, they've capitalised, they've taken the opportunity. And now it's about who can get that second goal if there is to be one, because as mentioned earlier, I don't think a draw suits either of these sides.
Athletic defending from Ngakia. Denore loses out. This is loser. Well, won back by Honeyman. Mitchell. More of a press from Watford. Cooper sends it long. Deli Bashiru. It's individual battles all over the pitch. It's a free kick. Triple change, it seems, that is going to be made any moment now for Tom Cleverley, and changing things up to his Watford 11. They've lost some momentum. This is their captain, Sissoko. Gives it away. It typifies Watford's second half performance.
Certainly needs a change. I think I saw Rocco Vassar at the back there as well, getting ready, and he will bring energy. He's got bags of pace as well, and something the Millwall backline do struggle with at times.
Honeyman, I think he slips over rather than a shimmy from Shakford Adza. Ngakia. Honeyman's there. Watford have a corner.
That's a little bit of skill, wasn't it, by from Ngakia. An elastico with a nutmeg.
Pollock had got the first goal of the game from a corner. And it's loser, headed away by Honeyman. And Ngakia has time. Loser has the space. Deli Bashiru and loser. Well defended.
Tadza there was lurking with intent at the back post area. Do well to keep it alive. Watford changed the angle. Shot for Tadza there. He's thinking, can I get this back across? But Crammer comes across.
Changes still waiting to be made for Watford. And Crammer's there once again. But the pressure is starting to be cranked up from the Hornets. Six bodies inside that 6-yard box, and it's Bayo didn't get a real connection onto it, and he'll be disappointed with that. Just carved out a bit of space for himself.
Yeah, he will. Looked like a good opportunity as well. Got himself half a yard, but changes are a footnote.
Here's the first of the changes. Rocco Vatu, 19-year-old, is coming on. It's a forward replacing. Firstly, was Ngakia's number, which came up. So Caleb Wiley is on, replacing Yasser Laroussi. And it's Vatu who's replacing Kayembe. And Ryan Andrews has come on and replaced Jeremy Ngakia, so that's like for like. 20 minutes to play, and it's all set up for one of these two teams to take a stranglehold of this game and claim the 3 points that they need in their chase for a top 6 finish.
That intent from Cleverley shows he's certainly not happy with the point. Wants all 3, as I mentioned. Vata bags of pace. Be able to run in behind, exploit that back line of Millwall that isn't the quickest, especially on the turn, especially Tanganga. He's got a bit of pace, but if you get down the side of Cooper and Bryant, you'll have a lot of joy there.
Alex Neil might be responding with a triple change of his own. This is better. It's Kundal. And now Mitchell drifts away from one challenge, strides forward. Imaku. Plenty of bodies inside the danger area. Can he get a cross in? Manages to do so. Loser sends it out of the penalty area. And here come Watford breaking forward. Everything to his left for Shakvaradza. Donore chasing him down, and he says unfairly so, he's stopped. And play continues around him.
Well, I understand he's probably frustrated, thinks he's won the free kick, but until that whistle blows, you can't stop like that. You can't try and buy the attention from the referee.
And Millwall's goalscorer being serenaded by his supporters. Casper Donore. Imaku. Coburn, is he onside? No, he isn't. He did stop, and doesn't really seem fully recovered from the when he slipped himself.
Let's have a look at this. Coburn just starts to drift, and the assistant on that occasion's got it spot on.
3 Millwall players just waiting for a break in play. Pollock went down when he made the clearance. It's okay now, back on his feet. Denore looks long. Andrews just allows the ball to run across his body and wins a free kick.
Maku there just a little bit too strong in the challenge, and Alex Neil now fighting fire with the substitutes.
So Reece Bangura Williams is the first player who'll enter the field of play. And Aaron Connolly is the second change. He'll be replacing Luke Cundle. Casper Denore is the player who's going to make way for Reece Bangura Williams, and Cundle as well makes way for Aaron Connolly. And the third change, and it's Femi Aziz who's replacing Maku, who set up the goal for Casper Denore.
Yeah, he's worked really hard on Maku, and probably now just looking to bring a little bit more energy on the pitch, Alex Neil.
Interesting 15 minutes to come with them. Triple changes made from both managers. Who will have the impact? Will it be Tom Cleverley's 3 or Alex Neil's changes? Game's balanced now for one of these sides to take it on. Runs away from Vatu. Wiley being trapped by Bangura Williams, and Andrews takes the throw in quickly. Sissoko's the target. Cooper comes across, defends that well. Andrews does possess a long throw. Just setting himself up. Here it comes. Cooper with the first connection. And it comes off Deli Bashiru, and it's a goal kick.
Normally the long throws such a good weapon because they're flat and it's a different trajectory, whereas there decent length on it by Andrews, but very looped in the air. Equally, there's not a lot of room off the pitches to try and get a run up, but yeah, the numbers of the game we're seeing, certainly Millwall have been a little bit better in the final third in the second half, but still dominating possession, Watford.
With his changes that have been to settle again, have that feeling. It will take a couple of more minutes to settle down before, fingers crossed, we have a rip-roaring final 10. Pollock slams the ball out of play. It's a throw-in for Millwall. Honeyman. He's fouled.
You know what? I think he's already on his way down. That's why Loser's not happy, because he's already on his way down. Loser pulls out and he's bought that off the referee, Honeyman.
Brian once again over the delivery. On a good left foot. Just at the bottom of your picture, just out of shot at the moment. Cooper will be lurking. Tanganga's not far away. Gavin Ward watching. Cooper went down. That's Mitchell. And now Honeyman. Millwall, safety first, go back. Cooper stayed up, flick from him. Andrews tidies it up for Watford. Heavy first touch from Salvik, gets away with it. Concedes a throw-in.
In a dangerous game, Salvik. As soon as that comes back to him, just needs to get rid of it.
This is Aziz. Honeyman takes a slight deflection, well read by Pollock.
Had to be read well because Connolly picks up a good position in between the two centre halves there.
And more changes afoot for Millwall. George Saville and Mihailo Ivanovic. So there will be all of the hand that's being shown by Alex Neil. Sissoko with the headed clearance, only as far as Tanganga. Bangura Williams. Kramer gets it in, header comes in, and that's a delightful goal from Josh Coburn. Second consecutive away trip. And a second consecutive goal from Josh Coburn.
Well, I picked him out before the game, praised his mentality for that goal against Derby. And he's done ever so well here again now. Bangura Williams, by the way, Watford will be absolutely livid. He's got that much time to turn and pick out this pass. Wonderful ball in by Kramer. And this is a really difficult header. He gets up so well, Coburn. Sends it back across the goal, leaving Salvik absolutely no chance. But the lack of pressure on Bangura Williams there in the build-up to that play is something that will worry Tom Cleverley quite a lot.
Pure delight on the Millwall bench. And they come from behind to lead Millwall.
Well, we said whose substitutes will make more of an impact, and so far it's Alex Neil's.
Ivanovic is due on it. Almost certainly a like-for-like replacement for Josh Coburn. Will Alex Neil have a rethink? Got some defending to do though, Millwall, and it was Bayo. His header was going on target, well blocked.
I think it was actually Coburn, the goal scorer. Blocks it, gets it well, Bayo. It's actually Brian and a mixture of Coburn in there around the Watford forward.
Here it comes again. Well taken by Jensen.
It's not what you need, is it, when you're Watford, you're trailing a goal. You need a good ball into the box away from the goalkeeper.
So Watford at half-time look to be strolling and very comfortable. And how this second 45 minutes have changed. Watford have really handed it to Millwall, especially in those opening 15 minutes of this second period.
Yeah, they've been punished for the lack of urgency. They started very poorly in the second half and they've been made to pay.
Here are the final two changes for Millwall. So Josh Coburn with his second on the bounce away goal. against Derby a couple of weeks ago, which won them the 3 points, being replaced by Ivanovic.
It's a great ball in, but the header's even better, especially when you see where he's positioned. The near post to get it back across back post area. It's a very accomplished finish.
And George Saville coming on for Billy Mitchell, and he'll slot into that midfield role. So Tom Ince is on, replacing captain Musa Sissoko. Ince was benched for this game in favour of Sissoko, and he comes on for the final change for Tom Cleverley. 6 minutes plus stoppage time for Watford to get back into this game. Could not envisage this second half at half-time. It's been turned on its head from goals from Casper Denore and Josh Coburn for the visitors.
Well, for me, Watford, they've only got themselves to blame. The lack of urgency on both the back end of the first half and the start of the second half to get the second goal. Moments like that as well, where they've been poor in possession.
And plays allowed to continue. Ivanovic! And it was always rising, but he wasn't far away.
Yeah, that's happened one too many times, hasn't it, for Watford? Giving the ball away on the edge of the box. Ivanovic is bright to it. Does well on the turn, but always rising. Loads are there, just trying to do enough to put Ivanovic off.
Andrews gets the better of two players. Can he put a good delivery in? Bayo's there, but headed away by Kramer. Once again, good defending from the Millwall right fullback.
Initially, it's great footwork, isn't it, by Andrews?
Taken quickly. Forward to Loser.
He hits it well enough, gets the strike on it, keeps it low, gets his hip and his knee over the ball, but straight at Jensen. Expect the goalkeeper to save those.
Can Aziz get there first? He can't. Millwall have crept up on the shots to Watford. Watford were dominating that stat at half-time. And what matters is the on-target, and it's Watford just edging that, but wow, Millwall have turned this game on its head and are leading with 2.5 minutes of the 90 to play. Tidied up by Brian, a bit too easy for him. He gave it away to Ince, and now it's Bayo. Vatu's there as well defended by the captain, Cooper.
Yeah, he does really well. He knows he's not got the pace to match Bayo, but he takes that inside line to make sure, gives himself less to do, and then can make the block when needed.
Loser once again over this corner. There's a posse of bodies, and what a fantastic reflex save from Jensen. He had to get a big hand to that, and he tipped it up and over the crossbar.
It's a brilliant save. I don't know whether it's actually coming off his own player.
Here it comes again. Honeyman deals with it this time. I think you're right, Corny. I think it came off Jake Cooper. Outstanding goalkeeping from Jensen. It's only a few yards away. He had to react to that instantly.
Bayo was there and around, but as I mentioned, I think it comes off Jake Cooper as he's sort of being pushed to the floor. It doesn't matter who it comes off. Jensen has to keep it out of the net, which he does extremely well.
Took that well as well, Jensen. Just bounced up just before he collected it.
Yeah, I think that's a good ball in as well. Oh, shot for Tadza. Witt bags of pace in near post areas, just looking for someone to gamble across it.
It's the fourth save of the afternoon that Jensen has had to make. Probably the most important one. Batu wriggles away from Kramer. Everything to his right. Picks out Bayo! And Cooper gets there first. 4 minutes of added time. We're into it now. Shakfadadza. Honeyman tracked his run all the way, and Connolly's been fouled. It's a free kick to Millwall, and if you're a Watford possession, you're just scratching your head, thinking, where did this go wrong?
Well, there's the challenge there with Deli Bashiru, but you're right. I think it was the lack of urgency for me at the back end of that first half. The start of the second gives Millwall that little bit of hope. And they're the ones with the impetus in the second half. They're the ones that have took the game with a bit of urgency to Watford. There's also been too much of Watford giving the ball away on the edge of their own box, to be honest. They've been poor in possession at times, and they've done really well to turn this one around, Millwall.
Pollock's chasing Cooper. Could battle this between the two centre halves. Andrew needs to be quicker with this throw-in. Time's ticking away. Tanganga got the final touch. This will be another corner for Watford.
It needs to be a good ball in. They're not going to get too many more chances now with just over 2 minutes left, Watford.
This is their 11th of the game. They open the scoring from a corner. Pollock's being watched carefully by Jake Cooper. Referee's having a word. Loser takes it, and off the ball incident involving Pollock and a Millwall player, and it's a free kick to the visitors.
Just seeing Cooper, Shakford Tadza, there's Andrews going down in the melee as well, but the whistle of the referee had gone long before that.
He'll be perplexed as how this game, and as you can see, the main stand is emptied out at Vicarage Road. Plenty of seats that have been vacated now. What was promising into a fantastic afternoon for Watford has just disappeared. Kramer gets there first. Flicked on by Connolly. Abankwah took too long, and is this to be the third and a decisive goal? And they've got a corner. Connolly should have punished Watford.
He should have. Selvik did extremely well, by the way, but this probably epitomises Watford's performance today. Being languid on the ball, around their own 18-yard box, and should have been punished further.
We've played the 4 minutes. And is this to be the 5th away win of the season for Millwall? Yes, it is. They've fought back from a goal down at the break. And they've taken all 3 points. Alex Neil with his 4th away win as the manager of Millwall. And he was only appointed on the 30th of December. And are they back in the race for a top 6 finish? Luke Jensen, some fantastic saves from him. Probably the best one of the lot when it came off his captain, Jake Cooper. But they've sealed the 3 points with their 5th away win of the season.
Yeah, and look, in the second half especially, it was really well worked from Millwall. Watford were undoubtedly the better side in the first half, created more chances, but they've paid for the lack of urgency, not pushing forward, not looking for the second goal, and a lot of poor and silly mistakes actually in possession from Watford that Millwall pounced on arguably at the end there. Should have been 3-1, you're right. Jensen pulled out some fantastic saves to keep his side in it. And now they've gone within a point of Watford, and very interesting what that will do for the playoff race.
Yeah, you have a feeling this will take a lot getting over for Watford. It really will.